Morning, kids. Dad here. It is Saturday, July 18, 2026, 10:30 in the morning. I had a wonderful night last night, sitting around a bonfire with some guys at the house here. The state commander of the American Legion came by, and we were out from like 10 till midnight just around a bonfire. And boy, did that make me feel better. That got me out of my head a little bit, got me feeling better after a week in which I felt like I was getting kicked a lot. Um, so yeah, peaceful night. Woke up this morning, got to see my friend Andrew J. give a wonderful, passionate lead share at a meeting. Got my lifting in, 225 pounds, 3 sets of 8, calf. Let me know when you catch up to that. But I want to talk about step 4 today. Step 4. This one is a monster. This is the graveyard for many a person who cannot get sober. This one is one that in the military we'd call it a kill box. So to recap quick, step 1, fired myself. Ryan, you're the least qualified person to manage your own life. You are fired. Step 2, all right, maybe there's this higher power that can help me out, restore me to sanity. Let's call it the group conscious, group of wise men. Step 3, making that decision to put them in charge, put that higher power in charge. So then step 4, now we get into action. The talking, the thinking, it's over. Step 4 tells me that I need to make a searching and fearless moral inventory of myself. Make a searching and fearless moral inventory of myself. That is a mouthful. What the heck does that mean? What it means is I need to make 3 lists. 3 lists. Your dad is to sit down and write a list of all the things that I'm fearful of, all the things I'm afraid of. Just a list. So, losing my job, never seeing you kids again, being homeless, failing, fear of failure, on and on. I had to make a list of things I was afraid of. Okay, not too hard, right? I already know what they are. I just got to put them down on paper. Then I had to make a list of things I was angry with, things that pissed me off. We call them resentments, things I was resentful about. So people, places, things that I'm angry with. Well, number 1, I'm angry with myself. I'm mad at myself for screwing up my own life so bad. Oh, I'm mad at my dad. Mad at my dad, bitter with him. Oh, I'm mad at the Minnesota court system for deciding the way they did my ability to spend time with you kids. I got a whole list, about 10, 15 things I was mad at, angry with. And then I had to do a third list. Let's call them personal relationships. The magical big book I talk about calls it something different, but for your purposes, kids, we're going to call it personal relationships. I had to make a list of all my personal relationships that I had basically done wrong in. So your mother was on that list. There are some ways in which I did wrong by her. I was not the man I should have been. So I put her on the list. A number of other people I put on the list. So neat. Now I've got 3 lists, each one with, 8 to 15 names or things on them. That's not it though. Then I have to drill into them and start saying why. Why am I mad at myself? Well, I'm mad at myself because I screwed up my own life. Why am I mad at the Minnesota courts? Well, because they did not consider my evidence. They threw it all out. On and on through each of my things, my 3 lists, I had to answer why. Then I had to look at essentially what was driving it. Was it a fear? Was it an insecurity? Was it something that threatened my physical security, my economic security? What was the underlying cause and condition? What was it in me, my part in it, that was disrupting, that it was disturbing? And then finally, what is my part in it? So for something like, let's say, for instance, my fear of job loss, then you got to drill down and examine, why am I afraid of that? Well, if I don't have a job, I can't make any money. What does that trigger? What's the insecurity in that? Well, I'm afraid of being homeless. I'm afraid of not having enough money. It's my economic security that's driving it. And ultimately, you drill down enough, and it's, what can I do about it? What's my part in it? Well, I can do my dangest. I can do my best. And with all these different things in my past, I had to work through that little grid, through the rows, through the columns. Now, the funny thing is, in the military, we'd call that a kill box. What happens in a kill box? Kill box is a grid where the enemy's waiting for you on the other side. And he's got his mortars and his artillery already sighted. He's got intersecting lanes of fire for his crew-served weapons. And when you advance to that kill box, you are screwed, because you're going to be taking fire from multiple directions and from above. And you have two choices once you realize you've stepped into a kill box. Step one, you can freeze, hunker down, start digging a little hole in the ground, start trying to find cover. That does not work out too well, because the enemy's already got you sighted. Just because you start digging a little hole in the ground, you still got heavy weapons firing on you from multiple directions. You still got mortars and artillery dropping on top of your head. You are a goner if you dig in a kill box. The way to get through a kill box is you punch through it. You get to that other side of it as quick as you can, which means you're running into the gunfire. You got machine guns coming on you from multiple directions. You're going straight forward. You're not going backwards, because they can shoot further and faster than you can run. And they can just start dialing their range back, stay on top of you. You got to get up in on their belt. You got to punch through it quick. That's the fourth step for me, kids. I was pulling off a lot of Band-Aids. And when you pull off a Band-Aid, that wound starts bleeding. The answer isn't to sit and watch it bleed and think, I'm going to spend some more time thinking about this. The answer is to rip that Band-Aid off, stitch it up, do the hard work of the stitches, and then you're going to heal. That's what the fourth step was for me. Once my sponsor explained to me how to work through that, I sat down and started cracking through it. Made my lists, made my columns answering each of those questions that come with each of those items on my lists. And then I reached back out to him. I said, okay, boss, what next? It took me about 3 or 4 days to do the reading in the book about it, talk to my sponsor about how to do it, and then to have a chance to say, okay, I'm going to sit down and do this. Once I sat down and did it, it took about an hour and a half. The interesting thing is, you're never quite done. I've gone back a few times in the year, almost a year and a half since I did it. I've gone back a few times and said, oh, there's something that makes me angry that I forgot to add to my list. Oh, there's something I'm afraid of. I forgot to add it to my list. You know what? It was something that I hadn't thought about for about a year or a year and a half or for 6 months. It was fine. The goal of that fourth step, that personal inventory, is looking at your past, things you're afraid of, things you're angry about, people you've hurt or wronged, and to do that big brain dump. All the big things that are taking up space in your head that you know about, they're haunting you. Get them down on paper. Don't worry about 35 years ago I pushed a kid on the playground. I wronged him. Don't worry about that stuff. Doesn't matter. And you're not writing your whole life story. You're not writing a 30-page autobiography. Again, that's not what the book tells me. It tells me I'm doing 4 little columns, a couple of words for each column. So step 4 was the first time I had actually do some serious work. I had homework, right? I had to do a written assignment. I had to look on paper. I'll tell you kids what. I had 3 things on my list that I'd never written down before in my life. And I'd never told a single person in the world about those 3 items. And sitting there looking at those 3 things written down, that was terrifying to me. That was terrifying. 3 items. And when you see them written down on paper in front of you, and you see the underlying causes and conditions for them, wow. That is, I don't know if humbling's the right word, but it shook me to my core. It made me say, wow. So anyhow, I get to go to a picnic for a bunch of veterans in Fairmont, represent Bravo Zulu. Then I get to go to a banquet up in Mankato and be personal security for the American Legion State Commander. So a fun little job for tonight. So yeah, and I'm excited to talk to you tomorrow about step 5, which for me was probably the one that I almost puked over. We'll hear more about that tomorrow. Love you, kids. We'll talk soon.